Hello everyone and welcome to Math 3A. This is the online version, Fall 2022. My name is Greg Perkins and I'm the instructor. So right now I've got the Canvas page open. Here's the syllabus, which I'm going to go over in just a few moments. Here's a list of everything that's due. All of the due dates are already spelled out for the whole semester. The problem sets and podcasts, these things I'll explain in a moment as I go over the syllabus. There's also notes for every section, both the written notes and videos. Again, I'll go into this stuff in more detail in just a moment. Let's take a look at the syllabus. All right, here we go. So, best way to contact me is the email, gperkins@hartnell.edu. That's especially good if you're going to send me a picture of your work and say, hey, Mr. Perkins, I'm stuck on number 3. I got this far and I don't know what to do. So it's good to use that email. It's better than the Canvas message system for attachments and pictures and things like that. So I am going to have in-person office hours, the main campus, Monday through Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10:15 to 11:15 in the morning. That's in the Rotarium, which if we take a look at this little map right here, so here's the main campus. So if you were to park in the main structure and then walk out, you would be looking at the Rotarium. So it's building N right here, and in the downstairs part there's this big room that's called the Rotarium. It's just open with a bunch of tables and desks. It could probably fit 25, 30 people. Most of the time during my office hour there's like 3 or 4, maybe 5 people, and they're just doing their work and I walk around and help them. It's no stress, so please keep that in mind if you'd like some in-person help. Also, you can make an appointment with me on Zoom. So with that, you would basically just email me and say, Mr. Perkins, I'm stuck on number 3. Could you help me? Could we meet on Zoom at 5 o'clock? And then, depending on my schedule, I just say, yes, I'll meet you and I'll send you the link, or say, well, I can't make it till 5:30, so I'll meet you at 5:30 on Zoom and here's the link. Okay, next up, since this is an online class, we will have online homework, which is done at mymathlab.com. So I'm actually going to make a second video about the details of that, but that's a website that's run by Pearson, the giant publishing company. So it's going to be mymathlab.com, and then look for the second video where I go over the details of working in MyMathLab. Okay, so like I said, there's full video lectures for each section, and then as I made the video and I was writing things down, I then took that paper and scanned it, so you have an exact copy of what I did in the video as a PDF file. So it'd be a good idea to read those notes and watch the video. And there's going to be several types of homework. I said 2 types, but I meant as far as traditional homework. There's going to be the MyMathLab homework. And then there's also problem sets and podcasts. So the problem sets and podcasts are things that I made up. The podcasts are actually the easiest homework you will ever have. So what I did is I made up 2 examples for each section. I made a video where I work it out completely, and your job is just to watch the video, write down what I do to prove that you watched the video, and then you're going to get full credit. And right there, that's already 20% of your grade. Now the problem sets, so these are problems that I made up, and then you need to actually show your work. So let me just open one up real quick. So this is all of the problem sets for the whole semester. So you could open it here. What I would do is click on the download, and then you've got it downloaded for the whole semester. Each problem set is 2 pages long. So problem set number 1 was just 2 pages, problem set number 2, 2 pages. And what I want you to do is actually show your work in the blank space. So it's best if you print it out and handwrite it. Some people use an iPad or something like that, and they write out their work and then they create a PDF. Or if you write it by hand, then you'll need to scan it and create a PDF to be able to upload it to Canvas. Now, it's very important that you show your work because I actually grade the steps, not just the answer. So here's an example that I just did. So there you go, got my name, Greg Perkins. So the math right now probably doesn't make sense to you if you haven't taken calculus. That's not really the point at all. I'm not really talking about the math. I'm just talking about showing the work. So I took the first derivative using the product rule. I then did the algebra to factor it. I then set each factor equal to 0. The e function will not equal 0, so that's no solution. And then I got the answer x equals 1. Then I used my graphing calculator. It's best to have like a TI-84, Texas Instruments 84. That's a good graphing calculator to use. So then I graphed it, drew a graph. I show where the derivative equals 0. And then finally, the question was, what does it tell you about the original function? So then use some words. The derivative is positive when x is to the left of 1, which is where the original function is increasing. So that's what I mean by show your work. Don't just write down the final answer, because each of these steps I grade, and they're all, in my mind, they're all worth a certain amount of points. Okay, that's the problem sets. Now let's go back to the syllabus. Okay, so there's the problem sets that I just went over. There's the podcast problems. And like I said, with the podcast problems, which are right here, notice that when you look at these, there is not enough room to show your work. So these are the questions. Again, it would be a good idea to just click this link right here and download it, because sometimes I know that my internet right now is blazing fast, but Hartnell's connection is slow. So instead of waiting for that, I'll just download it real quick. And then you can see here's all of the questions. And you could go to my YouTube channel, Hartnell College Math, and watch them there. Or you can go right here. So here's a link to the podcasts. And then this will just open up a window in YouTube.
Hello and welcome to the podcast for Math 3A. I'm Greg Perkins. I will be your host.
And
this first
you can turn on the
gives us this function.
Closed captioning
is going to be the height of a rock.
Okay, so anyway, you basically just watch the video. You write down what I wrote down. Maybe you've got some line paper, or I prefer to use blank paper. But anyway, you write those questions down, the solutions that I do, and then you're going to get full credit. All right, so going back to the home page, and then back to the syllabus. So this number right here, when you go to sign up for MyMathLab the very first time, it's going to ask for this code, Perkins 34091. So that's making sure that you get put into our class. And like I said, in the next video, I'm going to show the details about MyMathLab. So in general, the MyMathLab homework is due by the end of Friday. So that's 11:59 Friday night. And then on Mondays, there's either going to be a MyMathLab quiz, or that's when a problem set will be due. So those sort of switch off. And if you look at pages 2 and 3, so I would either save this document on your desktop or print it out, and definitely print out pages 2 and 3, because these are all of the due dates for the whole semester. So we've got Friday, September the 2nd, section 2.1 and 2.2, that's due in MyMathLab. You may be wondering, why are we starting in chapter 2? That's because chapter 1 is a review of pre-calculus, and I'm assuming that everybody had pre-calculus and trigonometry, since those are prerequisites, so we're not doing the review, at least as far as MyMathLab. In the problem sets, I do have some review built in. And then Monday, September 5th, that's when problem set number 1 is due. Oh, and I just remembered there's even more goodies over here. If you look over here, problem set examples. So then problem set number 1, I made a video with examples.
Hello everyone, and welcome to examples for problem set number 1.
So that is actually problem set number 1. I circle some ones that I want to do, and then I make up a problem that's just like it, but I change the numbers. So there's some extra help on problem sets. So here on the Canvas page, there's a lot of information. So of course, like everyone, we've been doing online since COVID, but I was actually teaching online before that. So I have a lot of material in here, and nearly all of it has been updated just recently so that the videos are nice and fresh and hopefully high definition, etc. Okay, I mentioned it, but just let me show you real quick. So when you go to a section, like you're ready to do section 2.1, you could look at the actual notes for that section. And again, sometimes, ooh, that one loaded pretty quick. So as I made the video, this is exactly what I was writing down. So you could even print this or, again, download it and just have it on your desktop. And then you could look at this page as I go through the video. And then when you look at the video, so the video for that section.
All right, here we go. The first section of point, but we're going to use secant lines to...
So as you can see, everything that I was writing down.
Okay, then on to the next example.
That's what is on that PDF. Okay, let's go back to the syllabus. All right, so all of the due dates are here. So on Mondays, it's either going to be a quiz that's in MyMathLab, or it's going to be a problem set. And then every once in a while, there's the podcasts, and that's where you just watch the video and write down what I did, and then you'll get full credit. And with the homework and the problem sets and with everything, you can ask for help. So if you need help, now sometimes it's a little bit difficult to type in math. So definitely what I do when people ask me questions is I will write it down on paper and then take a picture with my iPad, just upload it and send it to whoever asked the question. And it's a good idea for you to do that also. Like if you got stuck partway through, you can send me a picture and say, well, this is where I got stuck. That's a lot easier than trying to type f of x equals x squared. When you type it, it's difficult. Handwriting, it's much faster and easier. Okay, so if you scroll through, did you notice that there's something typical that is missing? That's right, regular tests. So there aren't any regular tests. There's basically just you do the work. So there's the problem sets, the podcast, the homework. Let me go back to the first page. There is a thing called the final, but that's just going to be a last problem set and a last quiz in MyMathLab. So this work that you've been doing throughout the semester, if you've been keeping up with that, then the final is going to be just like that. It's just going to be one more problem set and one more MyMathLab quiz. All right, I think that's about it for this video. Let me go back to the Canvas page. So what is due and when is it due? So this I just copied from pages 2 and 3 of the syllabus. And as we go through, like after, say on Saturday, September 3rd, after we're done with that, I'll erase it. So whenever you come to this page, whatever's at the top, that's what's due next. And of course you can check your grades over here. So I'm not going to click on it right now because it would show everybody's name in the class. But you can check your grades right there. As far as the assignments, I actually have them already in Canvas, like already set up. So problem set number 1, when that's due, you would go to assignments, you click on problem set number 1, And let me switch to the student view. So Canvas won't let me open it as a student until the classes actually started on August 29th. But anyway, then there would be a button for you to upload your work. You click on that, you upload your work, and then that's it. And please make one PDF. There are times when people will, maybe it takes them 12 pages to do it, and then they will submit 12 pages. And it's very difficult in Canvas for me to grade 12 pages. If it was one document that's 12 pages long, I've got no problem with that. When it's individual pages, it's really a pain in Canvas. So please try to create just one PDF. And one last check to see if I've gone over everything. So there's the problem sets for the whole semester, the podcasts. Oh, this 3x5 card. So as we go through and there's different rules for derivatives and things like that, I then add it to the 3x5 card. I believe this one is left over from last semester. So yeah, so it actually has all of those rules already. In the in-person class, we basically just start with the first one. And then as we go through, we add these rules. And eventually it looks like this for the rules for derivatives. But that's very handy to have because once we start doing derivatives, you use those over and over again. All right, so like I said, all the notes and everything are already there for the whole semester. And when you go to the MyMathLab, then I labeled them the same. So this is section 2.1. When you go to MyMathLab, it's going to say section 2. Homework for section 2.1. So they match up. All right, so I think that's about it for this video. The next one's going to be just about using MyMathLab. I'll see you there. Or wait, you'll see me there. Yeah, that's how it goes.